Hello guys, this is Prince Jia Kenya, back again today with another video. So today I want to discuss something that is very important, something that affects most of the people that relocate abroad, not only the Kenyans, but I want to give some of the examples of the Kenyans who have relocated abroad. Some of the cases I have seen and I have met them here online, and they touched my heart and they made me to think twice, to think thrice, right? They made me to bring my inner self and to think of myself being in that situation, what can happen, So today in one of the WhatsApp group of the Kenyan American, I saw a video that was shared of a certain guy that committed suicide here in America. He is a Kenyan, and the reason to why he committed suicide, it was a short clip, is because he said he lost everything. He don't have life. He was working, he had a good life, but he lost everything to the situation that he ended up being homeless, right? He even don't have a phone, he don't have nothing. So the guy was depressed, the guy was stressed, and the only solution he had, according to himself, after he decided to commit suicide. So he is not the only person that I have come across the story. I have come across other people's story, right? I have come across many stories here in America. Some people came and married here in America and then ended up divorcing here in America. And then the moment that they divorced here in America, the moment that you divorce, especially as a man, it affects men here in America. It's going to affect men than women, because maybe all your houses, most of your property is going to be entitled or inherited to your wife. Exactly, right? Because maybe your wife has your kids, or else you end up being put in a child support, and then all your money you are working hard, paying your own bills and paying for the child support. So the life can't be the same again. So I have come across whereby such stories touches my heart, because if things like that happen, many people end up homeless, hopeless, and now they don't have anything they can do in life, because you are working to give people just to Other thing is that I have come across other stories of the people that has maybe things like natural calamities, natural tragedies like sickness comes to them. And then here in America, one thing that is for sure, I don't know how the system is, but here in America you have to keep on working, because if you don't work, you can't pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, guess what? You end up homeless, unless maybe you get a government financial aid. Sometimes maybe you can or you cannot, I don't know. It depends to some people, because some situation even the government cannot support you, right? And then you end up homeless. So that stories has made me to think about so many people that relocate abroad, because I have talked to many people that relocated abroad, and especially I want to give a good example of Kenyans in abroad. So we have two types of people who relocate abroad. There are those people that once they relocate abroad as a permanent resident, because you can relocate abroad as a permanent resident or a temporary, like a temporary migrant or permanent immigrant. Especially a country like the US, relocating as a permanent immigrant is if you are relocating with a green card, right? But temporary is like a student, visit visa and stuff like that. So some of those people who relocate as a permanent resident, especially with a green card, like here in the US, those people cut ties with their country, that they don't have anything else to do with their country. They don't gonna go back to their country unless to visit once in a while. They don't gonna invest in their country. And one thing that is for sure, it's not that they relocated the whole family in America. It's only them, but they left all the family members back home in where they came from, in Africa, in Kenya, a good example. And then they have cut ties with the country. I have talked to so many people telling them that it's good to remember where you came from. At least invest back home. Buy some properties back home. And then they ask me a question. Are you living here or you are living back home? I'm living here. And why do you buy the properties home and you are not living there? Why don't you enjoy your life here, the place that you are living? That's alright. I don't have anything to do. It's their life, it's their choice, right? And then I ask them, how about your families? Why don't you support their families? And then they say, oh, I need to support myself first, and then I can think of supporting my family. Right? That's good. But when things happen, like the one I said, natural tragedies, or things, man-made tragedies, because if you come and drink and drive, getting DUIs here in America, you know, you're gonna end up losing your license. You cannot drive, you cannot work, things, you know, most of the things happens here, and then you end up that you can't pay your bills, you end up homeless. So if that situation happens, those people, the only solution and the only last solution they have is to go back home, to go back to the same country they say they don't have ties with, to go back to the same family they never invested, right? And some of them, even because they don't have money, they don't have support, because saying in abroad, not many cases that the community gonna support, especially if you are not even part of the community. Some situation I have seen some people, they are not part of community abroad. So if things like that happen, they don't have anybody who can help them here abroad. And back home, people are not stable. They are very poor because they never invested with their family back home. They don't have any property that they can sell back home. So those are the people that end up being homeless here, because even if they can call their family home to try to raise their ticket to buy them their ticket to go home, their family cannot afford even $1,000. Why? They never invested with their family back home. So that brought me a very big concern to advise some of the people. Yes, if by good luck, if you get a chance to relocate abroad, thank God. Maybe you have been praying for that chance. Maybe you have been dreaming. Maybe you have been looking for and searching and seeking those opportunities. But you came in this country. You are a permanent resident. Yes, I know. But still your family is back home, right? Invest with them. Help them to raise their standard. Help them, the life at least to be, help their family back home. If you can buy some properties home, why? If such a thing happen, guess what? The only people who can support you, leave alone about the strangers. We, the online people, we are the strangers. And not many stories that are being showed online, because I have seen such cases where people, things like that, whenever they happen, they come online to seek for help. There are so many people who don't have even a chance to come online. They don't have someone to their story, to bring their story online, or to bring their attention to people. And some of the people, they like the way I said, even here the community cannot help you. So, but if you can invest with your family back home, if something happen abroad, if tragedy happen abroad, if anything happen abroad, at least you can give your family a call and tell them, you know what, my mom, life is unbearable here. My brother, my sister, life is unbearable here. I'm kindly requesting you if you can be able to buy me an air ticket or lend me some money to buy an air ticket to come back home. Guess what? If some people say, oh, you can help people and they change and they forget you, there is no way you can tell me you can help 10 people and all of them to forget. No. At least there are going to be one person or 2 to 3 people that going to remember where they came from, that they're going to remember your support, and they're going to show up on your case, right? So if something like that happen, if you help some folks back there, and when I say some folks, don't only help the strangers, your family is part of you, because even if you die, especially in our African culture, even if you die like those who stay in the series, they are taken back to their family. Whether they had good ties with their family or not, they are taken to their family. So help your family first to stabilize in economy wise, right? And then if something like that happen, you can call your family and ask them to help you. And one of them or 2 of them or 3 of them, especially your parents, if you really help your parents can decide, you know, this is our kid. We cannot let our kid die abroad. We cannot let our kid suffer abroad, be homeless abroad. All the things they're gonna do, they can even sell some of their properties you bought for them just to pay you the ticket to go back home. Another thing about investing home, yes, you can help your family, yes, and they're gonna be able to raise their ticket for you to go back home. But did you invest home? What situation are you going back to? Because I have seen those cases of those people who went back home after living in abroad and life was unbearable. Maybe they fall sick, something happened, and then they end up to the same situation. They left home after living abroad for 5 years, 10 years, and you had the opportunity. You are making money, you are making life abroad. Then you go back to the same worst life than you left before, knowing that you had opportunity. But if you can invest home, right? Build your parents a good house, a nice house. Buy them some property, buy them some lands, build some, you know, buy properties back home. Even if the life can be unbearable abroad and you have to go back home, at least you won't start from scratch. You won't start from zero. You will start from somewhere. At least you will say, yes, I went abroad. I went in America 10 years ago and things happened, the one that I could not control. But at least I came back home in my country. I can see my parents are living a nice house. I can see we didn't have a piece of land. Right now we have a land, you know, and at least you can even sell some plots you had before when you are abroad, you bought when you are abroad, and get some capital to start a business, get some money to start to put your life together, right? So please, the moment that we relocate abroad, nobody who knows what's gonna happen. Actually, I'm not making this video to expect the worst. Nobody will expect the worst. We have some people who have lived abroad all their entire life. There is no anything that happened. And then there are those kind of few people that comes abroad and things happen to them. So nobody who knows about tomorrow. We always pray for the best, but we know the worst can happen, right? And we cannot control that. Some things are beyond our capability. Some things are beyond what we can do. So if such a things happen, please always prepare for your tomorrow. Don't cut ties with your country. Don't say I cannot invest back home. Don't say I cannot. Some people are relocating abroad to buy big cars, to buy big houses, and then if you cannot be able to pay bills for those houses, maybe you fall sick, you cannot work, they come and take your car, they come and take your house, you end up homeless. All the money that you had paid those houses and cars end up in waste, end up in, you know. Don't be like that person. Please, let's learn from the mistake of other people. Let's learn from things that happen to other people, and let's act, you know, accordingly. And then at the end of all of it, you are the person to thank yourself, said, yes, at least I made something that I prepared myself that if this happen, at least I'm safe. If this happen, at least, if it doesn't happen, I'm also safe. So thank you so much. Let me know your perspective and your opinions towards this. Is it good to invest back home? Is it good to invest with your people back home just in case of something happen? And it's not only in case of something happen, but at least is it good to do it? Yeah, thank you.